Good morning, everyone. Hello. Happy Monday morning to everyone. Today is October 23rd, start of another week, and I'm here. James in a hat is here to tell you more about horror news. Horror news for this week. Sorry I'm a little late this morning. I'm also a little less prepared this morning than I was last week because I was in Vegas this weekend for the When We Were Young Music Festival, and I'm still a little tired from that, but we're going to go through some events. You know what? But this time we did gather up some news that we can talk about in the horror world. So first, an update on the strike. That is, of course, the largest thing in the industry and the biggest thing affecting the channel right now, the SAG-AFTRA strike. If you're wondering why it's affecting the channel, go ahead and check out last week's stream. We explain it in depth. So the SAG-AFTRA strike, last week when I was talking to you, there wasn't any news because talks had been suspended between the Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA, and the producers, the AMPTP. But some news came out that they will be meeting tomorrow. They will resume negotiations and be talking tomorrow because the SAG strike did hit 100 days, which is a long time for people to be out of work, which is very unfortunate. So thankfully, they're going to be resuming talks tomorrow, and we wish the best. We wish that a good agreement can come that'll be fair for the actors and everyone involved, and we can all get back to work. And that's the hope. So we'll have more news starting tomorrow. Tisha McDonald asked, why is Saturday Night Live airing new episodes? Writers are good to go, but what about the cast? Because yes, of course, a lot of the cast in Saturday Night Live would be SAG-AFTRA, but that's the thing. There are so many different contracts, and Saturday Night Live, I don't know too much about it, but from what I read briefly, just has a different contract. It's not the same thing as the scripted shows that are being shot. It might be more, I think it's under the same contract as like daily shows, daily talk shows and such. So it's just a different contract that is currently allowed for the performers to work. So they're not crossing anything. They're not breaking any rules. It's fine for Saturday Night Live to be back. Other than that, though, there is some horror news that we can talk about. A little bit of news that we've gathered. First off, there is news on the sequel for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Everyone's favorite Pooh Bear-based horror film is getting a sequel, like I said, in the kill count for it. It was announced by writer-director Reese Frake Waterfield. He said that the budget for the sequel will be over 10 times the original. I believe the original's budget was $100,000, so we're looking at over $1 million, baby, for the bear to come back. Apparently, Piglet's coming back too, even though I counted him in the kill count for the first one as dead. Guess this guy's pulling a David Gordon Green and just being like, nope, that character you thought was dead is actually still alive. Sounds like Pooh is going to be killing people with a bear trap. Check out his signature new weapon. That shit is lit. And he also notes that they will have a high kill count. He said there will be over 30 deaths in the movie. So let's see how that works out. I will note that while the first one was written by Reese Frake Waterfield, the sequel appears to have Matt Leslie as the writer, and he wrote another film that was pretty good. It was a Netflix horror movie. So yeah, Matt Leslie is writing the screenplay for the sequel. So maybe there will be a better story and characters. We'll see what happens. Although I see someone listed in the credits as Young Pooh. What does that mean? Young Pooh? Was Pooh a boy? Is it a kid in a little bear costume? Young Pooh. I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing what Young Pooh is. So we'll check that out. That is, I don't think there's any news about when it will come out because they're still filming it, but it's happening. Okay, in better news, Never Hike Alone 2 is out. If you don't know Never Hike Alone, I covered the first one and its sequel, Never Hike in the Snow. Those are fan films involving one Jason Voorhees, and they are very well made. They're made by Womp Stomp Films, Vincent DeSanti specifically, the man behind them all. He made Never Hike Alone in 2017, at least that's when it was released, and Never Hike in the Snow was a 2020 release. Those were both short films. Never Hike Alone 2 is, a bit confusingly, the third film in that trilogy, and is much longer. I think it's maybe 60 minutes long before the credits, which is long credits because of the backers. Yes, Never Hike Alone 2 is out. It's available to watch on YouTube right now. I haven't had the chance to watch it yet, so I can't speak to it, but knowing Womp Stomp, knowing Vincent, I bet it's fucking dope, and people have said it's really good, so I'm excited for that. It's a direct sequel to the Never Hike in the Snow short that featured the return of Vinny Guastafaro as Sheriff Rick Cologne, you know, the guy in Friday 6 who's like Megan with the Yabang laser gun. So yes, I am eager to check that out, and I'll get to it later, but Vincent and Womp Stomp helped make another recent fan film called Dylan's New Nightmare, which is having to do with A Nightmare on Elm Street. So you can check that out. Oh yeah, Deathgasm is also raising money for a sequel. I believe they've hit their goal, but I think, you know, you can always raise more and make the movie better. So the director of Deathgasm is making a sequel, and Deathgasm 2, if you like that very metal horror film from New Zealand, you can consider contributing to that to see a sequel happen. Videodrome is a classic David Cronenberg Canadian horror movie. If you've never seen it, it is maybe the David Cronenberg movie, I'd say. I know The Fly is probably his best well known, but I feel like Videodrome is the most distilled Cronenberg. It's getting a 4K Blu-ray release from Criterion, so I'm pretty excited about that. You know, I love my physical media, because when you have the movie on physical media, it can't be removed from the streaming device, it can't be changed, and you can watch it when you don't have internet, which happens sometimes. Yeah, that stars James Woods and Debbie Harry, the musician, you know, fucking Blondie. And yeah, makeup effects by Rick Baker, the man who the Oscar for Best Makeup Effects was created for because of his work on American Werewolf in London. So Videodrome available. Is it out now? I think it's out now, maybe. So check that out if you want that. What other news we got in the horror world? Oh, I don't know what Door is, but apparently that is also getting a release. It's 1988 Japanese slasher that's never been screened outside of Japan. I'm seeing it's called the first Japanese giallo film, and thanks to Screambox, it recently got it's getting a Blu-ray release tomorrow from TerrorVision. So again, I've never heard of this movie. Sounds like it's never been screened outside Japan. So the movie follows a lonely housewife who's held hostage in her apartment by an increasingly deranged door-to-door salesman. Okay, yeah, that sounds cool. Directed by Banmei Takahashi. So, yeah, I'll be checking that out when I can, because I always like finding new movies. Ice Nine Kills announced the Welcome to Horrorwood Under Fire box set. So Ice Nine Kills is releasing a box set, and it'll feature it's a 3 LP set with the new single Meet and Greet, and the Splinter remix of Rainy Day, and an acoustic version of The Shower Scene. And it'll also feature the original album and an orchestral version of it, which I know people were really into it, and physical extras housed in a flame-engulfed box set. So Ice Nine Kills, they've got more stuff for you to buy. A lot of these announcements are, do you want to spend money? Go buy some stuff. Alan Wake 2 is almost here in video game news. Now, I booted up Alan Wake once, about a month ago, because I wanted to see what it was like. And immediately I had to stop, because I was like, no, I want to play this with Chelsea. This seems really cool. I mean, the first line, he's like talking about Stephen King stuff. I think you play a writer. Again, I don't know anything about Alan Wake, but I've heard very good things. And apparently the sequel is going to be launched across consoles and PC on October 27th by Remedy. So Alan Wake, I've heard the first one's a very good horror game. So again, I really want to check it out. I know that we want to finish Silent Hill when we can. I know that we did that Five Nights at Freddy's stream for the first game, and maybe we'll do some sequels. But yes, Alan Wake 2, it has different unlock times. Yeah, so check out Alan Wake 2 if you're into that. And a lot of game stuff happening right now. I believe Humble Bundle is currently offering a Fright of Your Life bundle featuring 8 horror games, which includes the first Alan Wake. So you can check it out, but although it's not the new remastered version. And it'll also feature Bendy and the Ink Machine, which I've not played, but I've heard of. Bendy and the Dark Revival, Pathologic 2, Tormented Souls, Stasis Bone Totem, and more. And it's a minimum payment of $13. Cool. And those proceeds go to charities, International Medical Corps and Direct Relief, and that's for medical aid throughout the world. So Humble Bundle is offering the Fright of Your Life bundle. It's you pay what you want and you help charity, although minimum payment of $13. So that's really cool. You know, I should do that. I should definitely hit that up, donate some charity. Speaking of charity, Diablo 4 is doing a blood drive, it looks like, or rather encouraging people to donate blood. And if you do donate blood at any blood donation center in the US, you can earn free content for Diablo 4. And then apparently there's also a special sweepstakes where you can win a PC with real human blood in it as part of its like liquid cooling system. My assumption there is that it is a small amount of human blood injected into the cooling liquid that is through all the tubes. I've never had a computer with liquid cooling. It scares me because I'm like, oh, if it leaks, we're screwed. But yeah, it seems, don't they have things with like comic books that are like inked with human blood and it's like a little bit of the human blood in the ink? So I don't think if you were to open the tube of this computer's cooling system that it would literally be just a bunch of viscous blood flowing everywhere. But, you know, it's kind of like a metal fucking thing to do, add a little bit of human blood. So if you want to try to win that PC, I guess go donate your human blood and then let Diablo 4 know. Slender the Arrival is getting a full remaster coming out. And it's going to be a free update for anyone who owns the game, which is now over 10 years old. It's an Unreal Engine 5 overhaul for its 10th anniversary. So I know that lots of people like Slender Man, and that is there for you. Let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about before I get to Dead Meat updates, just in the horror world. Oh yeah, just seems like a bunch of video game stuff. Video games are having horror and Halloween events. So Dead by Daylight has their Haunted by Daylight event to celebrate Halloween. Destiny 2 is having Festival of the Lost. And Fortnitemares. That's right, the Fortnitemares event is running through November 2nd. They added a lot of cool horror characters and skins, and one of them is Alan Wake. Alan himself will be available on the 26th. That's this week. Check that out. And that's free for anyone who purchases Alan Wake 2 on the Epic Games Store. So there you go. Oh, Call of Duty is also having like a Halloween thing. Wow, cool. And Guild Wars 2. Moving on to Dead Meat news. First off, this weekend, we had 2 more kill counts come out. On Friday was the Danganronpa kill count, hosted by Chelsea. Still have never played that game. My first exposure to it was, in fact, watching that kill count. I think Chelsea did a great job. It's very funny. Very funny. She rocks a killer cosplay in it, and watching it made me feel like I knew the game. So very cool kill count that came out on Friday. On Sunday, yesterday, the Toxic Avenger kill count came out for the original 1984 Toxic Avenger. Again, I talked about this last time. It's a trauma film. It's wild. It's nuts. I loved it. It's so over the top. So check that out and watch the movie if you want to. But of course, just keep in mind, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff going on in that movie, and it will shock many a sensibility. So that came out yesterday, and thank you for the warm response to both of those. Especially Chelsea's very pleased with how people have taken to the Danganronpa kill count. People have been very supportive of it, and they say that they love it. And some voice actors of the game have reached out to her to say that they watched it and enjoyed it, and that makes her very happy. So making new connections and doing cool stuff. This weekend, we have on Friday the Emesis Blue kill count that is uploaded and ready to go. I believe it's 36 minutes long. I'm super excited for that to go. But yes, the Emesis Blue kill count, again, I talked about last week, but it is a feature length. In fact, an hour, 47-minute long movie, something like that, made in the Source Filmmaker. Yeah, using Team Fortress 2 elements, which sounds like, what the fuck? It's a video game movie. No, dude, it's cool. It's really well made. It's exceptionally well made by Chad Payne, and I can't wait to talk about it. Emesis Blue. It's not Emesis Blue. I was calling it wrong last week, and I'm so glad that people told me that I was saying it wrong, because then I was able to go back and re-record like the dozen times that I say the title in the episode, and we had just had to cut in the corrected. So Emesis Blue. It's like Nemesis without the N. That comes out on Friday, the 27th. Looking forward to that. And on Sunday, our final kill count of the month. Again, we're not going to have one on Halloween itself because we're doing 2 a week. So that should be enough. On Sunday, the 29th is Talk to Me, the A24 Australian horror film that recently came out. It hit Blu-rays. Here's the disc for it. I think the case is still upstairs on the kill count set. We covered that. It's on Sunday, and that's another really good episode. So you'll get to hear all about how that was made by YouTubers, the Filippo brothers from Raka Raka. Watching all the behind-the-scenes stuff for that made me really proud of those boys. And I'm happy for them and all their success. Can't wait for more to come. But it's a very well-made movie, and it's you wouldn't expect it to be someone's first feature-length film. So congrats to them for all their success. In November, on Friday, we're done with the 2 weeks after this weekend, so please enjoy them while they last. And in November, we're back to 1 kill count a week. And just to give ourselves a break without giving us a break, we're going to be covering Dylan's New Nightmare on Friday, November 3rd. The reason I say it's a break without a break is because there will be an episode, but Dylan's New Nightmare is a short, so it's less work for us, like less stuff for us to cover within the episode. It'll be a little bit of a shorter kill count, but it's a very well-made short. It is a direct sequel to Wes Craven's New Nightmare, the very cool 7th film in the Nightmare on Elm Street film series. And Dylan's New Nightmare follows an all-grown-up Dylan from that movie. So it's available to watch on YouTube. It's very well made. In fact, Vincent DeSanti of Womp Stomp Films co-produced it and helped make it. Yes, Cecil Laird, that's right, from the Horror Show channel. Again, a guy who does YouTube was able to make a short film, and it's really well made. So check that out. And sorry, I lost my tab. Looking for my tab. Check out Dylan's New Nightmare, and the kill count will be out on Friday, November 3rd. And then I'll announce one more kill count for November because that episode is underway and getting made. On Friday, November 10th, we're doing Lamageddon. So I look at a lot of types of horror movies on this channel, right? Big ones, little ones, good ones, bad ones, sequels, originals. Remember Thanksgiving? Lamageddon is the first movie since Thanksgiving that makes me feel like it's Thanksgiving. It's not as crass as Thanksgiving. There's no, nice tits, bitch, nothing like that. But it is a student film. A student film made with $3,000 and a real llama. That's what really sells it, is the fact that they got a real llama. They also have a helicopter for a scene, but no, it's made for $3,000 with a real llama. It's a student film, but it's a fun one. I had a good time watching it. It's Lamageddon. It's available to stream on certain sites, so you can check out. Just Google Lamageddon. I forget where it is exactly, but you can watch Lamageddon, and then you can watch the kill count on Friday, November 10th. Lamageddon, man. If you liked Thanksgiving, if you liked the kill count coverage, let me be more specific, not if you like Thanksgiving. If you liked the kill count coverage of Thanksgiving, definitely tune in for the kill count of Lamageddon because it'll be somewhat similar, I would say. That's the kill count news. That podcast I mentioned last week, where I said it might not happen that last week. Lo and behold, the Danganronpa, I'm so sorry. I probably say it wrong every time. That kill count was too much work for Chelsea to also do a podcast. So that's going to come out this Wednesday, I think. I think we're filming it tonight. It'll be like a Halloween game, and they'll be on the podcast. We also are, getting our Patreon stuff out. Last night, Chelsea and I recorded a commentary track for Deep Red, or Profondo Rosso, one of the most famous giallo films by Dario Argento. So our commentary track for that will be available for $5 patrons and up. Later today, it's going to get posted. So if you want to see that, check that out. I'll be doing a Patreon live stream sometime soonish, I believe, this Sunday on the 29th, which is also when Chelsea and I are going to Horror Nights. We're not going to be filming anything, but we're just going to be checking out Horror Nights. And so if you happen to be there on Sunday the 29th in Hollywood, we will be there too. If you see us, feel free to say hi. That might be it for news of what's coming up. Any questions about stuff going on the channel? and whatnot. I was just in Vegas, like I mentioned. I was in Vegas this past weekend for the When We Were Young festival, which was a lot of fun, except for the fact that I had over $2,000 stolen out of my backpack in my hotel room while we were at the festival. It's money I didn't know that I had in there. It was from a convention. It was like convention earnings that I had forgotten was in my luggage. Found out it was there when we got there, and then it was gone before I left. And so, along with a friend's money from their wallet. So, it was stolen, and yeah, that sucks. Use those safes and keep your cash safe when in Vegas. All right. Is They Talk still happening with the strike, Victoria Rockledge? No, They Talk is going to have to wait for the strikes to be over, but we are, there has been work on it done. We're probably looking at a release next year, along with another new show that I've mentioned a few times before called Production Tales from Hell, hosted by our friend Chauncey K. Robinson. That is deep into pre-production, and we'll probably be filming it sometime soon. But I think that both those extra series for Dead Meat will be coming out next year. I think it's safe to say, because hopefully the strikes get resolved soon, but then we got to do all the work to get those shows out. So let's just look at 2024 as a fresh slate and have those new shows coming out, and hopefully being able to cover all the kill counts that we weren't able to do this year for various reasons. But yes, They Talk Season 2 will happen. It will happen. The work has been done. Some of it, not all of it. Yes, that is a Billy Garcia from Survivor. I keep him back there, and it says on the bottom, I love you. Chelsea got it for me. Is Silent Hill still in the running? Thank you, Pumpkin. Yeah, we still plan on doing it. We just realized that completing the game and then getting all that footage edited and writing that story on all those hours of gameplay footage was going to take too much time that we didn't have in October. So that'll just be coming out later. Even if the strikes end, which hopefully they will, we'll still cover Silent Hill. We'll still cover other, video games and other so-called weird stuff. How is Molly? Molly's doing great, as always. Thank you, Matt Mamba, for that. Thoughts on A24 branching out with more adaptations? Yeah, A24 said that they were going to expand their output. It's their company. They can do what they want. So as long as they still give filmmakers the chance to be creative and, get to work and make stuff that other studios wouldn't let them make, I'll still be happy. Thank you, The Violator A62. Do I think Create a Killer will ever return? Create a Killer was a brief series that we launched 2 pilots of, and then COVID happened and we weren't able to film any more of it. At this point, I would say no, I don't think Create a Killer will be coming back. We have too much other stuff that we're interested in doing that there's a limited amount of time, limited amount of energy that you can commit to projects and stuff. And I think there are just other things that we want to do besides that show. So I don't think that'll be coming out. Will the Horror Royal Rumble return for 2024? Stephen Perez? Yes, again, assuming the strikes are over so that we can, use those characters and talk about those films. The Horror Royal Rumble from last year is my second favorite video that Dead Meat has ever made after the Horror Awards from this year. So check that out if you haven't. You don't have to like wrestling or even know anything about wrestling to enjoy the video. It's a lot of fun, and I definitely want to do it again this year. So hopefully we'll do that. Oh, and this mug is Daddy Want the Big Breakfast from Tom Cardy. A very funny, is he Australian or New Zealand? I'm so sorry. I always mix those up just based on accent, like the sound of it alone. But Tom Cardy, hilarious guy on YouTube. Very funny songs. Some of them like a minute long. So go check it out for like nice little hit of comedy. But Daddy Want the Big Breakfast. He's Australian? Spork says he's Australian. Oh, and Mr. Zesty TV asked about pregame. Again, strike is affecting that. So we're still talking to people about it, and hopefully we'll be able to get some movement on it after. I think now that the writer's strike is over, we can start discussing it with other companies, but obviously no work can begin until the actor strike is over. Was Zoran supposed to do Toxic Avenger? Hell no. Hell no. I was always going to do Toxic Avenger, man. Sometimes people are like, Zoran should do this episode. I'm like, yeah, over my dead body. Depending on like what they're talking about, I'm like, no, man. Like, oh, Zoran should do Puppet Master. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? I grew up on those. When the Puppet Master kill count is done, it'll be done by me. All right, get that tall, handsome motherfucker out of there. He can come do to the numbers bit or the sponsor bit, which he's so very good at. By the way, he's also very good at his own kill counts. He's a good guy. Give him the Axis trilogy. Yandir, that's mean. That's what I should do. Okay. thanks everyone for hanging out, for doing this, and for coming to the live stream. Really appreciate it. And we'll talk next time and look forward to all that other stuff that we have coming up. All right. Bye.